them that catch the people very, very deeply and cut like a knife is the one that we're going to play. Yes, the one that we're going to play is it cut the people them hot when this man talk on the radio. Because this man, it's weird because a whole heap of people don't know. Well, I never hear about him before. Apparently, he is a very popular white guy in America, in England, where have books and all these things. Where I never hear about it, but him named David Starkey. David Starkey had an interview on some radio station in England, Newsnight, and he makes some serious allegation about the genesis of this riot here. And lo and behold, him called Jamaica name. Lo and behold, the man called Jamaica in the mix-up. Jamaica, where we do them so? What we do them so? I mean, you mean them have to call the name like the pricky. Yes, the man tap on the TV and call people name, call Jamaica name tonight. As a matter of fact, it all boils down to what him say is that white people in England is becoming black. Him say white people in England is becoming black. And the reason and the cause for the riot is that they have allowed, listen to this, I will go and play him words for words. That's why I listen to the interview when we play it. The reason for the riot is that England has allowed the black culture and the Jamaican patois to get where in England. And that is the cause why all this burning down and this unscrupulous and thievery over the past so much weeks we see happening in England. The man say is the black culture and the Jamaican patois that cause it. Well, what you think? What you think? Because we don't have struggle with it too. We don't have struggle with the Jamaican. We're not struggle with the Jamaican language, but we are struggle with our attitude and our behavior. So, big debate in England. Big debate in England about it. This is the cutting edge. We want to play this interview here with this man here because it's a very startling suggestion. And it's not startling really, but you know, it cut to the heart. It cut to the heart really for hear a man, a white man, after all our England do to black people. After all our do England do to black people. You know, Miss Lou did have a poem which I say with colonization in reverse. Maybe, me don't know, because Miss Lou, this is something Miss Lou did say we go to England and carve out our own little niche in England on our levels, you understand? So I don't know if Miss Lou did that is something that this man you know come after so much years of Miss Lou saying colonization in reverse, that him now come and say one of the reasons them for this uprising that we saw took place in England have a direct connection with the Jamaican language. I laugh, you know, but I don't find it funny. I don't find it funny at all. Is there some truth to what this man is saying, or is just outright racism? He might blame black culture. Black culture. He might blame black culture. Hip-hop music, he might talk about. Can I mention hip-hop music? And maybe other things too. So, film recommendation, you know, and when white people sit down and say we're going, you know, for them recommendation is probably a tightening of migrants and immigration like what Obama do right now. Right now, Obama is in the process of tightening the immigration laws. We see a big demonstration going on in America over this immigration law that Obama instituted inside America, where the deportation of people will be simpler and quicker. And in England, the police and the courts, this is serious, the courts were told to take more drastic steps and give the people them who them catch. It's 1,000 people them arrest already. The people who them catch and charge must throw away the law book. This is serious. Them tell the courts must throw away the law book and rivet the judgment upon whosoever is found guilty. In other words, if you were supposed to get 6 months, get 6 years. And you're going to see a whole heap of people that come back home. Whole heap of people. So, I don't know what I'm going to do with the white people who did that match down the building where we say, me see it on my TV, where enough white youth are throw a chair in a glass and I go in a store and take out things. You know the weirdest thing is that most of the store them, it appeared to me that most of the stores them where them mash up and go in is electronic stores. It's gadget stores. No, that's a serious thing. But I want to listen to this, listen to this, because it is creating some serious ripples in England right now.
Well, joining me now, the historian David Starkey, the author of Chavs, Owen Jones, and the author and broadcaster Dreda, Stay Mitchell. Thanks very much to you all for coming in. Do you think this has been a profound cultural shift this week, David Starkey?
Not this week. And whether this week is a huge incident, I'm sorry, I'm a historian, will only know in the future. Only the outcome will determine. But I think what this week has shown is that profound changes have happened. The two things about these riots. The first is, in one sense, they're completely superficial. Somebody brilliantly put it there, it's shopping with violence. It's merely extended commercialism. I think, for me, the key image was the woman coolly trying on a pair of trainers outside a looted shop. So that's one aspect of it. The other, though, I think there has been a profound cultural change. I've just been rereading Enoch Powell, The Rivers of Blood speech. His prophecy was absolutely right in one sense. The Tiber didn't foam with blood, but flames lambent wrapped round Tottenham and wrapped round Clapham. But it wasn't intercommunal violence. This is where he was completely wrong. What's happened is that a substantial section of the chavs that you wrote about have become black. The whites have become black. A particular sort of violent, destructive, nihilistic gangster culture has become the fashion. And black and white, boy and girl, operate in this language together. This language which is wholly false, which is a Jamaican patois that's been intruded in England. And this is why so many of us have this sense of literally a foreign country.
In that speech, Enoch Powell talked about 15 or 20 years' time, the black man having the whip.
No, we have to play about that little part there. We have to play about that little part. I want you to hear what the man say. Jamaican people, want to hear what the man say? Want to hear what the man say? All right, me could play it again. Me couldn't hear what the man say because it's a serious thing.
White boy and girl operate in this language together. This language which is wholly false, which is a Jamaican patois that's been intruded in England. And this is why so many of us have this sense of literally a foreign country.
In that speech, Enoch Powell talked about 15 or 20 years' time, the black man having the whip hand over the white man.
That's not true. What's happened is black culture. This is the enormously important thing. It's not skin colour, it's cultural. Listen to David Lammy, an archetypical, successful black man. If you turned the screen off so you were listening to him on radio, you'd think he was white.
David, absolutely not at all, really. You know, of all the theories we've heard this week, this whole notion that this is down to the way that some young people may choose to speak, that people, I suppose, people, David, like myself, who may be talk in a particular way. That's why we've got...
Like them. You don't talk like them.
Them. It's a them. This is the problem. It's a them and us culture. We can't keep thinking of this as a them and us argument. We keep talking about different communities. You keep talking, David, about black culture. Black communities are not homogenous groups. So there are black cultures, lots of different black cultures. What we need to be doing is we need to be thinking about ourselves as not individual communities, as one community. We need to stop talking about them and us. We need to be talking about our children. We need to be using words like we, and stop putting this blame on different people. The blame culture has got to stop. We've got to face head on
just
what the
to
issues
understand,
are.
when you're saying that white culture has adopted black culture, are you saying that has been at the heart of the rioting? Is it black culture that has caused rioting?
Remember, what we're dealing with, listen to these boys. Listen to...
I think you should answer the question, David.
Is that what you're saying? That black culture is the cause of rioting?
This is the text sent by the girl who had been the Olympic ambassador, who then engages in shocking acts of looting. Pigs shouldn't have killed that guy last night in it. Then they wouldn't get blown up. Girls going to steal, wheeze. But it's stealing Dewey. The shopkeeper ain't fucked their mugs.
No, excuse me. Utterly outrageous, obviously, what you're saying. What you're doing is you're equating black culture with criminality. And
No,
you are. Let me finish. No, and you said, let me finish. And you said David Lammy, when you heard him, sounded white. And what you meant by that was that white people equals being respectable. Absolutely. And that white people, by adopting black cultural norms... Look, black culture in this country has had a huge contribution. Our music and a whole range of cultural ways.
You glorify rap?
David, I use rap in schools to teach children literary devices, and it is a fantastic way for children.
It's very good for rhythm and the literacy.
To re-engage boys.
Rap with rioting on the streets? Is that what you think?
Well, it certainly glorifies it.
Actually, if you look at rap actually glorifies some rap. If you look at their videos, actually, it reinforces the materialistic world that we live in. When was the last time you watched a rap video or looked at a rap song? Tell me about a rap artist, David.
David, how much do you actually know about hip-hop? I'm genuinely curious to know about this, because... You know, you're a historian, you deal with empirical evidence, you base your theories on evidence. So explain what your evidence is before you make, frankly, what a lot of viewers will find offensive generalisations.
I think in these are times when we need plain speaking, and plain speaking is necessary. You remember I took...
David.
I'm going to give you them. If you will stop interrupting, you're getting a sort of doing a trainee Jeremy Paxman. I took part in James' Dream School. I was involved in this. We used rap. We used rap to explore particular notions of masculinity, of violence, of dominance, of the relationship between old aristocratic violent practice and modern gang culture. So, I mean, it's interesting. It is historically interesting.
So when we look at the facts, just bringing this back to the rioting, when we look at the facts, clearly it was not a riot that was only dominated by black people. It was there were many white people. We've seen the training that gave them. Are you saying those?
It started as a black protest about the killing of a black man. And so, can we just have that fact? Absolutely.
A peaceful protest originally.
Actually, a community protest.
It very quickly ceased to be peaceful.
And we've got to understand, in Tottenham in particular, okay, where, look, in this country, black people are 30 times more likely to be stopped and searched. In Tottenham, 1 in 2 people... Let me finish.
80% of gun crime is black.
1 in 2 people, 1 in 2 kids in Tottenham grow up in poverty.
I know.
And there's a sense of harassment by the police. And this is just the latest, let's not forget, in an example of a civilian killed in very dubious circumstances. And what the IPCC originally came up with, that they'd fired...
I'll tell you,
is it any wonder that...
Slightly, because David Cameron, interestingly enough, said this wasn't about race at all. He thinks it's about crime. No, he said crime, actually. Let's look at the damage to the social fabric in terms of what this says. You talked about shopping, you know, the sort of shopping violence.
Shopping with violence, yeah.
Do you think, Drida, that this is part of an acquisitive culture, that sort of endless consumerism? You know, it wasn't mindless rioting. It was rioting with a very clear commercial purpose.
Actually, we are the society. We've tripped ourselves up, because what have we emphasised to our children in terms of success? Success equals money. That's what we've been saying.